our rally today protesting the genocide of South African whites. That there is blood shed on the white population in South Africa, and people are also standing, their mouths are closed because this is a symbol of silence of the world. Now, the same world which pushed the white population of South Africa in 1994 to one man, one vote, to mixed buses, mixed society today, led to the mass murder of the people there. And since 1994, over 190,000 people were murdered in South Africa. 1/3 of them are whites. Farmers are murdered, children are murdered, and this is continuing, and the world is silent. Now we're here to break the silence, to protest against this silence, and to show that we are not going to be silent. Because these people in South Africa, the Afrikaners, the Boers, I want to remind you, these people were the best friends of the state of Israel. These people were supported by the Zionist movement from the very beginning. Zev Jabotinsky, 100 years ago, wrote a special play about them. He said that if not for his involvement in the Zionist movement, he would go and fight the British on the side of the Afrikaners. So we have special ties with these people. We cannot be silent. We will not be silent. And we have to tell the world, the world has to come knee and bow and ask for forgiveness. The whites in South Africa, especially the Afrikaners, this is their land. They have a right for their own country, for their independence. And we here in Israel are going to support their claim for independence. For the Afrikaner people, we are their friends. They are the people of covenant. They are the people of faith. And they are the most faithful friends we Jews ever had in the most difficult situations. And we must come and help them now. So the silence will be broken. Thank you.
Said someone whose people are, as we speak, participating in a genocide in Palestine. Said someone whose people are, as we speak, genociding the Palestinian people. It's no wonder that it's not real and white South Africa are like this. I mean, they both historically did the same thing. They both invaded people's lands. They both stole the lands. And they both unalived the people whose lands that they stole. Talking about, this is our promised land. So it's no wonder that they are BFF. It's no wonder that they stand with each other. Because, come on, when they look at each other, they see themselves in each other. I have very few things I want to say about this video, but let's quickly talk about the background ralliers. Why are they dressed like uncoordinated, low-effort KKK members? When I first saw that video, I was like, what in the KKK is going on here? Why is it looking like a KKK rally, like a KKK meeting or something? They had this white hoodie on, and why does it look like low budget KKK couldn't put an effort into making, the KKK hoodies? So they decided to just pick up white hoodies, or, stop at the nearest thrift store and pick up white hoodies. Like, is it just me, or was it giving KKK rally energy? Like, the choice of outfits, it's very interesting, I must say. It's very interesting that they all just coincidentally, I'm guessing it happened, decided to wear white hoodies.
I want you to be so expeditiously, supercalifragistically, expialidociously fucking for real now. Like, be fucking for real.
A group of white people wearing white hoodies as they rally against the supposed actions of a group of black people. No, it doesn't sound familiar at all with the group of white people who wear white hoodies whenever they are protesting against the interest, freedom of the black people in America. No, I don't see any similarities at all. There is no correlation whatsoever. These are godly people, the chosen ones. So that there's no way they would be getting inspired by There is no way. These are different set of Europeans.
He's one of the good ones.
But, jokes aside, back to, white people getting unalived, genocided in South Africa. Like, it's crazy that these people continue to push these lies. It's insane that they continue to push this narrative. And they know damn well it's a lie. Everybody knows it's a lie.
This video is not giving what it's supposed to give. I'm sorry. You're protesting white genocide, which is a fake narrative in South Africa spread by people that make money out of that narrative. Okay.
And we all know we live in a world where white people don't play with white lives. Like, that's the only life that matters to them, white life, right? We all know we live in such a world. I mean, come on, when the war first broke out in Ukraine, there were reporters, white people on the news talking about how, these people are white like us with blue eyes and blonde hair and we should care, it's a big deal. White people are getting unalived. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, it's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed.
On est au 21e siècle, on est dans une ville européenne et on a des tirs de missiles de croisière comme si on était en Irak ou en Afghanistan.
Now the unthinkable has happened to them. And this is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe.
15,000 people were coming into Poland in just the last 24 hours. When you look at what happened in the last refugee crisis in Europe back in 2015, Poland was one of the EU countries that, was hesitant to take in refugees. Talk about
Pologne, parce que ça va être une question importante. Et on parle pas là de Syriens qui fuient
out in bomb shelters, but this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully.
these are not refugees from Syria. These are Christians, they're white, they're very similar.
These are prosperous middle-class people. These are not obviously refugees trying to get away from areas in the Middle East.
So Iraq and Afghanistan are uncivilized countries. Their people are uncultured. Their regimes are irresponsible. So they deserve war. They deserve hundreds of bombs and years of occupation. Well, this is what systemic racism looks like.
So there is no way white South Africans will get unalived in South Africa that white people would be quiet about it. Because, like I said, the only lives them folks care about is white lives. Everybody would have heard of it by now if this were true. That white people are getting genocided in South Africa. They would not shut up about it. It would have been the #1 news. All 4 corners of the earth. Everybody would have heard. Even aliens in other planets would have heard about white South Africans getting unalived by now if this were true. And one thing that you cannot help but notice in this video is the obvious hypocrisy. Out here talking about, white South Africans are getting unalived and genocided in South Africa, which isn't true, but, they are pushing the narrative because one way or another they get something from it, I guess. Want to push this narrative of, white people are victims too, I guess, when we all know, you people know. You people are the victimizers, not the victims. Let's be so for real. But the hypocrisy, right? Talking about, see, these people are getting genocided. But your people are actively participating in a genocide right now. No? These people are so BFF that when apartheid ended, there were white South Africans who actually left South Africa and went all the way to Israel, naturalized and everything, converted even and stuff. These people were so bloody sick of the fact that apartheid had ended. They hated the fact that it had ended, and they fled to another apartheid state. When I ponder on that information, I'm like, we really have a lot of sick people roaming the earth. I don't know how Mother Nature allowed this to happen, but it did, unfortunately. And we have these people around. Like, some of these things are so unreal to me.
You'd be amazed if you look back at the stats, if there are any, of how many secular Jewish South Africans became suddenly very, very religious and intent on claiming their Israeli citizenship in that period after 1990, before 1994's first election in South Africa, and found their way to Israel. Not because they supported the state of Israel, but because they hated the thought of a black government in South Africa. They hated the thought of a majority rule. They were terrified of what they thought would be unleashed against white South Africans by a majority black government post-apartheid. And they hightailed it to Israel because they saw a place that they would feel at home in their racism and bigotry. They simply transferred their hatred from black to brown people and bought into the Zionist bullshit.
Imagine getting pissed at the fact that you are no longer allowed to subjugate another group of people in their homes. So you run away from there so you can go join another group of people who are doing the same thing over there because that's what you like, that's what you are into. It's sick.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
But anyways, guys, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I didn't really speak that much because it's all lies, obviously. And I have also made a few videos on here addressing this topic. So I'm just going to drop some links down below in the description. So if you want to check that out, you can. And yeah, I'm going to be leaving this one here. Let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are. Let's continue this conversation there. And of course, as always, I would see you guys in the next one. Bye.